Hey everyone, I'm Justin with MajorMoneyTips.com. Today I would like to do a quick review of the Genesis Framework WordPress theme by Studiopress. I've been using Genesis Framework for a while now. I can honestly say that this is by far the best theme I have ever used. When I first started online, I experimented with many different themes, both free and premium, including Thesis, and in my opinion, none of them really offer the flexibility, security, and ease of use that Studiopress does. In regard to Thesis, Thesis is one of the most common premium themes out there, mainly because of its ability to be customized. I mean, you can customize pretty much anything with Thesis, and it's a very good theme, but in my opinion, Thesis comes with a huge learning curve, and I just didn't have the time or the patience to learn it. The Genesis framework, on the other hand, is as simple or as complex as you want to make it. Out of the box, it doesn't have near the complexity of Thesis, but Studiopress provides free plugins and widgets to customize pretty much anything you want. If you don't already know, Studiopress and the Genesis framework are provided by Copyblogger. You know, the huge content marketing blog. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, it just makes sense to use a theme designed by WordPress experts, bloggers, and SEO professionals such as those from Copyblogger. Now, the Studiopress themes are a little bit different than most other themes out there, and that's because instead of installing one theme, you actually install two themes that work together. The first theme is the Genesis framework. It acts as a foundation for design, security, SEO, and future updates. Once the Genesis framework has been installed, you then install a child theme that is essentially the main design element that rests on top of the framework. Confusing? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but you can kind of think about it like this. And this is right from Studiopress's website. If your website is a car, for example, WordPress would be the engine. The Genesis framework would be the frame and the body, and the child theme would be the paint job. So what are the advantages of having the framework separate from the child theme? Well, for one, it's extremely reliable. If you think about it, the same Genesis framework is used for every Studiopress theme, so you can rest assured that it gets the attention it needs when it comes to security updates and support. Also, if you ever want to change the looks of your website, you can easily switch to a new child theme, and the majority of your theme settings and SEO settings will remain unchanged. Another advantage is if you create multiple WordPress sites, you can export the framework and the SEO settings from one site as a template to import into a different site. And this is a huge time saver if you regularly work with multiple WordPress sites. Now, if you're wondering about theme support, once you purchase Studiopress theme set, you get access to the community support forum, along with many different tutorials. They both have been an invaluable resource for me on several occasions, and I strongly recommend using them if you ever run into a sticky situation. Now, I'd like to take a few minutes to show you the back end of one of my websites so you can see firsthand how Genesis works. Okay, so here I am at the admin portion of one of my WordPress sites, and as you can see, we just go over to the themes. There's two different themes installed. We have the Genesis framework, and the magazine child theme is what I'm using as my child theme. This would be the paint job of a car, basically, right? And it says this child theme requires its parent theme Genesis. Okay, we already know that. Just kind of wanted to show you what that looked like. So there is two themes you have to install, not just one. Come over here to our Genesis settings. And one thing I would point out, typically you would have an SEO settings, would be your on-page SEO settings as a selection there. I'm using a different plugin for my SEO settings, so that's why it does not show up in here. Genesis is smart enough to recognize that you already have a third-party SEO plugin, so it does not give you the ability to select those SEO settings from Genesis. But yeah, just very basic. You know, our general theme settings. We can add our information. We can change the color of the website if we wanted to. Custom feeds. We can change the layout if we want two sidebars or a sidebar on the left side versus the right side, whatever. Navigation settings. Down here we have a place where we can add our scripts. If we have Google Analytics code, we can add them right there. Very basic stuff. Okay. Import and export. As I mentioned before, Genesis has the ability to essentially create a template that you can use to import into different sites. That is where this comes in handy right here. We can choose to save our theme settings or SEO settings and export the file, and the next site that we have, we just import that file and we're ready to go. Okay. And depending on what child theme you have, you might have different selections over here. Okay, it's really pretty basic to begin with. One thing I do like here, and I'll show you how this works. Genesis is very widget based. Well, let me show you my site, Major Money Tips here first of all. And what I mean by it's widget based, it's basically the whole front page of the site is built with widgets. Okay, this slider image here, this is a widget. Okay, lots of widgets over here on the sidebar. There's a widget up here. The recent posts is a widget. Okay, everything is a widget. And the benefit of doing that is you have extreme amount of flexibility in what you do with your site. For example, I'll go over to the widgets section here. And there's the header, the slider code that I put in there, and the featured posts, recent posts. This majority of the posts on the home page. All sorts of different settings within this widget, but we don't have to use this widget here. If I wanted the slider down towards the bottom, I can do that. Okay, I can put the featured posts up on top. I can get rid of the slider altogether. Really, whatever you want to do, you have the flexibility to do that with the Genesis framework. And come over here to plugins. We'll go to add new. I'm not going to add any plugins, but I'm just going to search for Genesis just to show you the amount of things that you can do here. And I said that Studiopress provides a lot of free plugins. Look at all of these plugins. Genesis, Genesis, Genesis. Okay, all sorts of different things that you can install on your site. Okay, provided by Studiopress. And this is what I mean by you can really make your site as simple or as complex as you really want to make it. Okay, right out of the box, it's fairly simple. But with the addition of all these different plugins, you can really change it up and make it the way you want it. Well, I hope this review of the Genesis framework by Studiopress was helpful for you. If you feel like Genesis is going to be a good fit for you and your website, feel free to click the link in the description below the video, or just go to www.majormoneytips.com/Genesis and you can purchase right from there. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.